Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, I used to like this lady, but some of her antics recently is making me have to question my opinion about her. I'm speaking of course of the First Lady Aisha Buhari. Guys, I bring you this. Trending, despite public outrage, defiant Aisha Buhari shares video of daughter in presidential jet. So that's the headline. You of course know the story we're referencing, which is the story of course of Hanan Buhari using the presidential jet as a personal taxi. So the headline again, trending, despite public outrage, defiant Aisha Buhari shares video of daughter in presidential jet. So now let's see now what this lady has to say to justify this thing that outrages Nigerians. Days after Nigerians widely criticized President Muhammadu Buhari for allowing the use of a presidential jet by his daughter, Hanan Buhari, for a private activity in Bauchi, the president's wife, Aisha Buhari, has shared a video of her daughter waving to the public from the jet on Monday. The video, seen by many as a defiant response from the First Lady, was posted on Mrs. Buhari's verified Twitter handle as well as her Facebook on Monday. In the 55-second video, the president's daughter is seen greeting locals and appreciating cultural sites in what appears to be the northeast state. She was dressed in the same clothing she traveled to Bauchi in, as seen in earlier photos. Mrs. Buhari added multiple hashtags to the video, writing Hanan Buhari, rich culture, heritage. These are all hashtags, by the way. So it's hashtag Hanan Buhari, hashtag rich culture, hashtag heritage, hashtag Nigerian Air Force, and hashtag PAF. PAF is the acronym for Presidential Air Fleet. It was earlier reported how Ms. Buhari flew in the jet to Bauchi on a study tour of the state emirate as part of her field work for her ongoing master's program in photography at a UK university. Many Nigerians, including the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Ayuba Waba, criticized the president for flouting his own touted policy of costing the cost of governance by allowing his daughter to fly the jet. The presidency, through a spokesperson, Garba Shehu, defended the action, saying Hanan, like any other member of the president's immediate family, is entitled to the use of the presidential jet. The major opposition party, the People's Democratic Party (PDP), disagreed, saying the presidency was arrogant in its defense of the indefensible annexation of our national assets and resources for illegal private use. Legal experts also noted that although the Nigerian constitution makes no clear rule on such use of the presidential jet, no official policy authorizes the children of the president to use the presidential jet to attend private social functions. For the daughter of the president to use the presidential jet on a private tour is an abuse, but as I have said, I am not aware of any law regulating it. However, there should be protocol for such purpose. For example, will it be permissible for children of the president to be moving around with the presidential limousine or cars? That will not be permissible due to the security implication and for the dignity of that office, said GT Ogunye, a lawyer. You must be aware that even the presidential jet has the seal of the president on it. So does it mean the daughter of the president should be using any facility dedicated to the president without the president on board? That was why the use of the presidential jet by Asari Dakubo from Benin Republic to Nigeria sometimes in the past generated a fury. Amidst the condemnation, some groups have risen to the defense of the president and his family. Despite the presidency confirming Hanan traveled for her personal program, the Buhari Media Organization on Sunday claimed she was on an official trip. President Muhammadu Buhari's daughter, Hanan, did not use the presidential jet on a private visit to Bauchi. Rather, she was on an official assignment to represent her father, the president, at an event in the town. A statement signed by its chairman, Niyi Akinsiju claimed. The group also said even if the opposition party did not fully admit it, members of the first family are not barred from traveling in a presidential jet, especially on an official function. So, of course, it's not on an official function. Even the presidency has confirmed that themselves. So, this is a case of these people taking Panadol for somebody else's headache, but these are just rank adede people, so you can dismiss them offhand. But the broader question, the real broad question, where the real controversy is in the use of this presidential jet by this girl for her own personal visit. So now this is where the question really is, because these are the resources now of the country being used for what is essentially a school trip by this girl. So this girl now is taking her master's allegedly, apparently, and part of the portfolio that she has to produce for that program is to produce all these sort of marquee photographs to show to her tutors that these are the things that I can achieve and these are the things that I have achieved. So that's fair enough, and good luck to her with her studies, but it should not be at the expense of Nigerians. So this is a girl studying in the UK. Who is paying for that is the first question, and there are countless Nigerians also doing master's programs. So who is now facilitating for them to go to the places where they have to package their dissertation or presentation for that master's program to justify the degree that they are looking to attain? So who then facilitates for that in terms of a presidential jet? Nobody. So to all intents and purposes, this girl is a private student. Nobody elected her into anything, and if the father wants to support her, yes, of course she's entitled to a security protocol, because of course she's a high risk, I won't say a high value, but certainly a high risk person within the Nigerian space, because people who are looking to get at her father might look to get at her father through her. So she's entitled certainly to a security protocol, that's for certain. But then of course they have all of the resources of Nigeria at their disposal, so they could have hired a private jet if they wanted her to go in a private jet. But I don't see why this girl cannot go on a commercial flight, by the way. And by the way, when she's going to the UK to do her studies, how does she get there? Does she go on a commercial flight, or is it the presidential fleet again that flies this girl to the UK and brings her back when she's coming home on holiday? So what is really going on there is really where the question is. And then you see this ballooning budget for the Air Forces, for the Air Force One of the Nigerian state. The Air Force One, they say, essentially is the presidential fleet. So you see this ballooning budget for the presidential fleet, and Nigerians are alarming about that this is too much, because it grows and grows all the time, this budget, like everything does within this, especially Buhari administration. So everything that have been budgeted in the 2015 that were already outreached at the budget that they budget for whatever in 2015, in the Buhari dispensation, all of the things that we were outraged about in 2015, that they were over budgeted and they were double budgeted and there were a lot of padding, they have now gone up by tenfold. You know, the petroleum subsidy tenfold, the Abuja clinic tenfold, the presidential fleet tenfold, everything tenfold. So now you now see now that they are now just running this thing as a windfall for their family, and they are now using the presidential fleet as a taxi service. But then of course, as Nigerians continue to rebuke them, this lady has now posted this clip on her Facebook and on her Twitter handle. And what is she saying exactly? Go to hell and do your worst. This is what she's saying to Nigerians. An act of defiance, doubling down on stupidity, and saying effectively to the 200 million odd of you that if you don't like it, you can lump it. Get lost is effectively what that Twitter post, that video posted on Twitter by the First Lady, is saying to Nigerians. Now, what says you? Are you getting lost that you have been instructed, or are you staying firm that this is unacceptable? Somebody is suggesting that this lady or the president herself actually should be brought before the parliament to come and defend this thing of allowing the presidential fleet to be used as a personal taxi service for his family. Conversations in the comment section. Come let me know what your opinion is on all this. But before you come share thoughts, click on the red subscribe button so it turns grey. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you're making of this move by Buhari allowing his daughter to use the presidential fleet as a personal taxi service. Come share conversations with me about all this in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Join you in the comment section. But here I say peace.